Welcome everyone. In the previous classes we have already studied about the algae and bryophytes. Now in this class we will start with the pteridophytes. Pteridophyte, that is group Pteridophyta. The organisms which belong to group Pteridophyta, they are called as pteridophytes. They are called as pteridophytes. That is the organisms which belongs to group Pteridophyta. In the previous, that is in bryophytes, the prominent stage, the dominant stage was gametophyte. Whether it was in liverworts or whether it was in hornworts or whether it was in mosses. So, the dominant stage was gametophyte. So, in bryophyta, dominant stage was gametophyte. But here in pteridophyta, the dominant stage is sporophyte. Sporophyte is the dominant stage in the organisms which belongs to pteridophyta. That is, in most of the time, most of their life cycle, the organisms will be in sporophytic stage. Here these organisms, that is the organisms which belongs to group Pteridophyta, they show proper differentiation. They show here in Thallophyta no differentiation. In Bryophyta a little differentiation was there. Though it was thalloid, but a little differentiation was there. Some root like structures, some stem like structures, some leaf like structures were present. Though it was not exactly root, stem and leaf, but structure resembling to them or the performing that function was present. But here in this Pteridophyta, they show proper differentiation. The organisms which belongs to Pteridophyta have proper differentiation, that is, they have roots, proper roots, they have stem and they have leaves. They show proper differentiation, and they also show differentiation in vascular system, that is totally developed, properly differentiated vascular system is present. There in that Thallophyta and Bryophyta, vascular system was absent. They were atracheophyte, that is vascular system was absent. But here they show proper vascular tissues. Vascular tissues are well formed, that is xylem and phloem are present. So, that is why these are called as tracheophytes. Tracheophytes, that is the organisms which shows vascular system. The organisms which shows vascular system. Bryophyta, they were called as atracheophytes because vascular system was absent, that is why atracheophytes. Here proper vascular system is present, that is why they are called as tracheophytes. They are called as tracheophytes. So, they show proper differentiation, that is roots, stem and leaves are present. So, and this roots will be having roots are adventitious roots. Roots are adventitious roots. Stem show all this, that is all the tissues are present. Epidermis is present, cortex is present, stele is present. Epidermis, for example, this is the stem. This outer cells forms the epidermis, and in the middle is your vascular tissue, and in this one is the cortical region, that is cortical region. So, it has epidermis, it has cortex and it has stele. Stele is nothing but arrangement of vascular tissues. Arrangement of vascular tissues. So, that arrangement, it can be protostele or it can be siphonostele, it can be solenostele, it can be dictyostele. So, this is nothing but how that vascular system, how the xylem and phloem are arranged. How xylem and phloem are arranged. So, here sometimes xylem will be surrounded by phloem, or here arrangement will be different, but xylem and phloem will be present. So, stem shows epidermis, cortex as well as stele. So now coming to the leaves. Here the leaves are called as sporophylls. The leaves can also be called as sporophylls. Here sporophylls are nothing, the leaves will be bearing structures. The leaves, inside the leaf, spores will be produced. Inside the leaves, spores will be produced. So that is why the leaves are also called as sporophylls. Inside the leaves, spores are produced inside the leaf. Inside the leaf, structure is there which is called as sporangium. That sporangium will be producing the spores. But where is that sporangium present? Inside the leaves. So that is why the leaves are also called as sporophylls. The leaves are also called as sporophylls. So here the leaves can be small or it can be large. In few organisms the leaves are small and in few organisms the leaves are bigger ones. So the sporophylls with smaller leaves, they are called as that is the smaller leaves are called as microphylls. Leaves are present. Leaves are of two types. That is, some plants will have bigger leaves and some plants will have smaller leaves. So if the leaves are smaller, then they are called as microphylls. Phyll is leaf, micro is small. If the leaves are smaller, then they are called as microphylls. If the leaves are bigger, then they are called as macrophylls. Example for smaller leaves is Selaginella. Example for macrophylls, bigger leaves is ferns. So these microphylls will produce spores. So those are called as microsporophylls. That is, the leaves produces spores. The small leaves which produces spores, those are called as microsporophylls. The larger leaves which produces spores, those are called as macrosporophylls. And sometimes what happens, the leaves will be different, that is, the leaves will be separate and they will be having sporangia in them and they will be producing spores. And in some organisms what happens is, the leaves which produce spores, they come together and form a structure. For example, here, the leaves which produces spores, they come together and arrange in themselves in a manner that form a structure, cone-like structure. They form a cone-like structure, that is called as strobilus. Here the leaves are separate, then they are called as sporophylls. But if the leaves join together and form a structure, then it is called as what? Strobilus. It is called as strobilus. So I said you the organisms will have proper roots, stem and leaves. So here this is the root. Here the stem is underground, vertical rhizome. The stem is in fern. In ferns the stem is underground, vertical rhizome. If we see an example of fern, fern is the organism which belongs to Pteridophyta. Fern is a plant which belongs to the group Pteridophyta. Here in this the stem is underground, vertical rhizome. The stem is underground, vertical rhizome. So here this one is the stem. It is underground, inside the ground, and from the stem the roots are arising. From the stem the roots are arising. So those are called as adventitious roots. I already said you the roots are adventitious. So from the stem the roots are arising, which are called as adventitious roots. This is the stem and the leaves. These are the leaves. The leaves will be growing. These ferns have larger leaves, large leaves. The leaves, the young leaves, they coil at the tip. They start coiling at the tip. So the leaves are there, this is the leaves, this is the stem, and these are the roots. Proper root differentiation is seen, and vascular system is there, and here this at the end of this petioles, here small scales will be present, those is called as rameta. At the end of the petiole, scales are present, those are called as rameta. Now coming to this leaves, smaller leaves, microphyll, or the smaller leaves which produces spores, microsporophyll, bigger leaves which produces spores, macrosporophylls. So we have seen this example of fern. Now coming to this, how the leaves, I said you leaves will be producing spores. For example, this is a leaf. So inside the leaf, this structures will be there, sporangia, which will be producing the spores. So if you enlarge it now, you will see it like this. So some structure is there in the middle, circular structure is there, to which this sporangium, that is, this is the stalk, this is the stalk, this is some circular structure, and this is sporangium. This is sporangium, and surrounding this, that is sporangium, all the sporangium, that is umbrella like structure is present, that is insidium. That is insidium. So this structures will be, this is the structure which will be found in the leaves. So this one, the bulb structure is called as sporangia. It will be present in the leaf. So it produces spores. It produces spores. So when you enlarge the sporangium, this one, this bulge part, you will see this one. This is the stalk, this is the bulge part, that is sporangium. Inside the sporangium, this is the stalk, this is thin walled cells. Thin walled cells, these are thick walled cells. Inside the sporangium, spore mother cells will be present. They will be inside the sporangium, spore mother cells will be present. These spore mother cells are in diploid condition. The spore mother cells are in diploid condition. They divide by meiosis and produce spores. Inside this sporangium, spore mother cells will be present. These spore mother cells will undergo meiosis and form haploid spores. They form haploid spores. These spores which are formed in the sporangium can be of two types. In some plants only one type of spores are produced. So then it is called as homosporous. It is called as homosporous. If only single type of spores are present, then it is called as homosporous. But some plant produces different types of spores. Two different types of spores. Those are called as heterosporous. Heterosporous. So inside this leaf, structures like sporangia will be present. These sporangia, inside the sporangia, spore mother cells will be present. These spore mother cells will divide by meiosis and produce spores. These spores can be of two types. One, it can be same, all the spores can be same, but here in the second case, few will be different, and that is two types of spores will be present. If all the spores are same, then it is homosporous. If the spores are different, then it is called as heterosporous. In this heterosporous, we have this, some will be, that is few will be acting as the male, few will be acting as the female. So spores in the sporophyte, this is the sporophyte, sporangia is produced, sporangia is present. Inside the sporangia, spores are produced. Those spores are called as sorus or sori, singular and plural. So the spores here in this are called as sori or sorus, singular and plural it is. Here, if the spores which are produced, if they are of same, then they are called as homosporous. If they are different, then it is called as heterosporous. In heterosporous, we have microspores and macrospores. Microspores acts as male gametes. These macrospores act as female gametes. So the spores, spore mother cell inside the sporangium, spore mother cells will be there which produces spores. These spores germinate. These spores germinate and produce a structure, heart-shaped structure. That heart-shaped structure is called as prothallus. This will germinate and at this beginning form a structure like this, which will be developed and form a structure like this. This is called as prothallus. This is called as prothallus. So where all this is seen? On the leaves. On the leaves. All this, where it is happening? On the leaves. So here this prothallus will further, this is the prothallus, at this is the apex of prothallus. At the apex we have archegonia, and here at the bottom we have antheridium, and we have root-like structures. The spores have been germinated, and in order to attach themselves to the ground, they have root-like structures. These are called as rhizoids. The spores are on the ground. Coming out from the sporangium, they are on the ground. On the ground, it germinates and produces a structure called as prothallus. So this prothallus will have archegonia, antheridia, and some root-like structures which are called as rhizoids. Root-like structures which are called as rhizoids. So now archegonia will produce female gametes, antheridia will produce male gametes. Two types of spores. Here male and female. Then male and female gamete fuses and form a sporophyte. Male and female gametes fuses and form a sporophyte, which will be the structure. So this was about how how sexual reproduction takes place in pteridophytes. The organisms, they are also called as reptiles of the plant kingdom. Bryophytes were called as amphibians of plant kingdom. These organisms are called as reptiles of plant kingdom, because in reptiles, reptiles were the first land animals. Here also they are first land animals. Properly they are developing on the land. So that is why these pteridophytes, they are also called as reptiles of the plant kingdom. They show proper differentiation, proper structure is there. Here leaves plays a major role in production of spores. So leaves are of two types, small and large, microphylls and macrophylls. They produces, inside this micro and macrophylls, structures called sporangia are present. These sporangia will undergo division and produce spores. That spores can be of two types, homosporous and heterosporous. So these spores germinate and change into a structure called as thallus. Thallus will have antheridium and archegonium, which produces gametes. Then gamete fuses and again form sporophyte. Gamete fuses and again form sporophyte. So dominating stage is the sporophyte. In the next class, we will take up gymnosperms.